Yeah, it's in the year 2000.
Oh, don't give me the date.
I'm serious.
What? What, you and me are sitting here, surrounded by chooks, for a movie that's going to be out in the year 2000? You are kidding me. You are kidding me. The year 2000?
Year 2000.
The year 2000? Can you believe that? You've agreed to do a movie that's going to come out in the year 2000?
Well, that's how long.
It'll be a good year, Mark.
You fucking well want to be. For an Australian film. Found you.
But it's not unusual, Mark. You know, a film like Shine, that's 8 years. 8 years in development and shooting.
Shine. Yeah.
Just been there.
Honestly, I'm not being critical or anything, but honestly, once you get the funding, I would rock and roll with great haste. How can people, or the people Eric was associated with, punch out a good movie, right? Not a bad film, very Australian film, in no time flat, and it takes you to the year 2000. Year 2000.
Oh, come on, mate. Don't be like that.
Just take him up the chook shed now and toss eggs at him. I'd like to be alive to see this fucking film.
Oh, you'll be alive.
God, mate, anything can fucking happen. This is the first time he's mentioned it to you. I'm going horse. You just had me do the hooking the cripple one. I like to do a Pauline Hanson video. By the time you see this video, we'll be dead. I'll be fucking dead from waiting around. No, well...
It does sound a long way away when you say year 2000.
No, hang on.
You mean end of next year?
Well basically we are talking... Oh shit, no, that's fucking 2 years. I'll be out of here this afternoon.
So what age? 20s? 30s?
I was 23. Oh, I'm doing that too. Anyway, I said, no you won't. I said, yes I will. I said, no you won't. I said, yes I will. Went back to the yard. They had this National Geographic on prosthesis.
Prosthesis.
Yeah. Bloke had a false hand made out of stainless steel. I said, I'll cut my bloody hand off with that sheet of tin over there that was against the wall, and I'll get a hook put on my hand. They said, you idiot, they're not going to let you have a hook on your hand in jail. You get a hook when you get out. You know, I said, oh, correct the mundo, right? So I said, off of these, get a razor blade. So Kevin Taylor, the bloke that shot Pat Shannon, got a razor blade. He wrapped it in toilet paper. Comes up to me. I said, no, I'm sitting there. I said, come on, go. He's like this.
Doing a slow.
Oh, I said, oh, for God's sake. I said, just rip him off. That really hurts. And he's like this, didn't want to hurt me. He was like this, being oh so delicate. You know.
Is he in front of you?
Well, he's in front of you? He's here,
yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
And I've got my arms folded.
Yeah.
Like this. You know. And he's like this. And I said, get with the program. You know, get them off. What are you doing? Off. And he went, I said, the other one. And he went, oh. And he went, and everyone freaked out.
How many people were in there?
Yeah, 6.
About 6. And what do they do? They jumped up on the benches.
Well,
yeah?
they're all in the shower yard. They're all up on the shower bench where everyone, you know, this little bench people shower.
And which yard was it?
Number 1 shower yard.
Is that the one that's on the side that's covered over?
As soon as you work down the tunnel,
it's
the first door.
Yeah.
First door on your right.
Yeah.
That's the number 1 shower yard.
Yeah.
And I got a towel, put it over my head, like that.
Yeah.
I could feel all this hot water coming out. It's like hot water. It wasn't hot water, it was blood.
Yeah.
And so I started spinning out a bit. And Kevin Taylor picked the ears up. And he picks the bloody blade up. And he gives me the bloody blade. And I got the blade.
Yeah.
And then he says, oh, this will, you know, and then he's rushing out trying to say, oh, I'll get the blade off him, sir. Yeah, chopper cut his ears off. And I'm going, yeah, I'll cut my ears off, you know, because old Taylor would have got into heaps of trouble.
Too much of it. And they live like pigs. You know, you can walk into a biggest heroin dealer in the western suburbs. You can walk into his house, and if you saw a turd sitting on the lounge room floor, it wouldn't be the first dirty thing you'd notice. You understand? It wouldn't be the first. It wouldn't be the first dirty thing you'd notice. I mean, he had last year's Weet-Bix dishes still sitting in the sink.
Yeah.
I mean, this bloke lived like an animal, like a pig. He had 6 or 7 TV sets stacked on top of each other. The first one was broken. He put a new one on top of that and plugged that in. And then that had broke. He put it. This insanity. And I walk in there. There's 4 TV sets stacked on top of it. The top one worked. The other ones had been kicked in because of football games he didn't like. So he'd shoot the TV set, you know, and madness, you know, insanity.
Yeah.
You know?
Who lived with him? Did someone live with him?
He had a wife who was a heroin addict.
Mm.
You know, I mean, these people had a lot of money, but they lived like animals, and they were fair game. They couldn't organise a fucking brothel, you know. So I made a fortune out of these characters. You know? I used to walk around there, and I used to just say, listen, here you go, here you hold them for cash. I'm a bit broke. And so I can't help you. And I said, well, listen, I'll tell you what. You try getting from where you're sitting to the front door. Yeah. And
Did you do it just like that?
I knew they had the money.
Yeah. But you're very polite and friendly.
Oh, so listen, you're making a fortune selling heroin all over the western suburbs. You know, I haven't come to ask you for your redundancy package. You know, I haven't come to ask you for your widowed mother's pension. You know. I'm asking you for 10 grand out of the 60 I know you just picked up on Sunday. Oh, they didn't like parting with it. Oh, God, they didn't like parting with it. They bloody well did part with it, though. You know. But that's why. But they did part with it. Oh, they loathed partying with it. But I'd see the same blokes in a nightclub on Sunday, you know.
Right. And how would they be then?
Oh, they'd have all their gang there with them. Ready to rock and roll. Yeah.
And what happens then?
I just walk up and say, how are you boys? I'd throw a few bob in the bar and say, would you like a drink? Would you like a drink? You may as well, it's your money. Well, they hated me. Yeah. You know? But years, you're bloody well crying in your sort of a night time. The bloke that hands out the clothes is giving you shit to wear. The bloke that hands out the radios is giving you a busted radio. The bloke that hands out the TV sets is giving you a busted TV set. You don't know nothing how the jail works. You're just surrounded by people. You go to clean your teeth and someone's pinched your toothbrush. You know, you go to your cell and someone's gone into your cell and shit on your bed just because you're on your own. You've got no friends. It's an animal place, right? Yeah. Suddenly, a bloke with no ears walks up to you. What's your name? Oh, my name's Eric. How tall are you, Eric? I'm 6'2". How much do you weigh? I'm going to kill him. Eric, you punched the cunt out of half this fucking jar. What are you sitting there with tears in your eyes for? Oh, my wife, and, you know, there's blokes over there, you know, they come from where I live and they reckon I owe them money and you know, blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you what, Eric, you don't look like a bad bloke. I'll go over and sort them blokes out for you. We'll fix this problem up for you. So I gave a word to these blokes and I talked to them. My favourite trick was, I used to walk up to them and I'd say, is that bloke over there? I said, I like that bloke. He's going to be a new member of my crew. He's a fucking idiot. Well, he won't be an idiot in about 2 months' time after he stabbed about 20 of you. Because I intend to arm him up. Right? I says, and that idiot over there crying, who you cunts have been standing over, is going to be in my crew. And I'm going to give him a bloody great big tomahawk.
And I says, and what's more, you're not going to be sending your mates around to pick on his fucking wife. And all this money you reckon he owes you, that's cancelled. It's cancelled. By the way, how is your mother in Preston Street, Ascot Vale? Is she well? Is she? You want to rock and roll? Let's party. No. Right, that idiot over there is now in my crew. And I'm going to arm him up in about 20 minutes' time, right? And I'm going to tell him if he wants to stab the guts out of you, there'll be no comeback, will there? Right? No, look, this has gone too far. This has gone too far. No, look, no. We only had a blue with the bloke on the outside. Look, we thought he'd give us up. We thought he'd give us up over that armed robbery. No, look, we could be wrong, you know. And I've got no trouble with his wife. It's only Bill who reckons he owes us the money. Oh, no, look, we'll sort it out, Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Every single one of yous is going to go up and apologise and say, I'm sorry for upsetting you, Eric. Because Eric's in our crew now, right? And we may or we may not stab the shit out of you by tea time, right? Go back, Eric's armed up, 20 minutes time. Instead of crying and being all lonely, next thing you know, Eric's down on the muscle line. Suddenly he's wearing an overcoat. Oh, it's 90 degrees in the fucking shade. I'm sweating like a pig. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a fucking tomahawk. Oh my God. Yeah? The screws are patting him down. They feel the bloody tomahawk. They look at him and go like that. Because he's standing next to me. They go, oh, another recruit. How mentally stable is he? I go, and because there is nothing more frightening in jail than a psycho. You can be a professional criminal, you can be a professional bank robber, you can be a professional thief, you can be a professional anything you like, but the most feared thing in a prison, the most feared thing in the criminal world is a fucking psycho. From my background, these were middle class people from middle class neighbourhoods that had got into crime.
Yeah.
They had no reason to even be in my world. You know, I didn't pick on blokes from my own background.
Yeah.
You know, these people were his father was a brain surgeon. He was a neurosurgeon.
Jesus.
You got people who have done 3 or 4 years in university who speak 3 or 4 languages, have travelled the world, who've been part of the cafe latte bloody set, and the next thing you know, go to Bangkok and meet some little gook who wants to sell them some, and the next thing you know, they're drug lords. Then they meet me, the real thing, right? And they've got to part with their money. Then these characters have got to sit down and try to figure out a gang war to go to war with someone, and this is not part of their culture. So the drug world has invited into it a whole heap of people that don't belong into the criminal world.
Haven't done their apprenticeship.
They don't belong to the criminal world. Never done a day's jail. And they bump into characters like me. And they go, oh, gee, we never counted on this. Gee, we didn't expect this. You know. And their Zegna suits or whatever it is, and their mobile phones and their bloody BMWs. I mean, you can't kill people by belt them overhead with your American Express card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
falling asleep on me spaghetti marinara? That's he hasn't got long to go. But as Churchill said, like Lady Astor said to Churchill, "Sir, you are drunk." And he said, "Madam, you are ugly. In the morning I'll be sober." I should have been dead a dozen times. The time I fell asleep in the Italian restaurant, face down, it must be the marinara with my gun on the table, and they escorted me, and these people were friends of mine, and they escorted me to the toilets, cleaned me up and give me my gun back. It was a miracle. That was a miracle. So, I wouldn't say that my survival was a result of my genius, more as a result of their stupidity.